Hey everyone, happy July 5th. Hope you're not too hungover or tired from the long holiday. Super excited for this chat with William Rubio of CallTower and Joe Marion of the Cloud Communications Alliance. I hope we have something exciting and interesting to say. So you don't have to go back to work, but can listen to us instead. Gentlemen, how are you? William, it's been a while.
It has been a while, Evan. Thank you very much for having me on. It's great to be on here with Joe. Excited, especially right after the July 4th holiday. Right, a lot of people are a little tired, but we're excited about this one. So very happy to be here and excited about this conversation.
Well, not too many people working still, but if you call this work, we're working. And Joe, everyone knows you at the Cloud Communications Alliance, but for those who don't, maybe a quick intro to you and the team at the CCA.
Well, hi, everybody. Happy 5th of July, day of the 4th. We are recovering from the 4th of July. Cloud Communications Alliance, so we are the international association for companies that are in the hosted communications business.
And quite an association it is. CCA events are the best. But let's talk about Call Tower, William. It's been a few months since we've chatted. I'm sure you have lots of news, updates, enhancements, features, customers. What's new at Call Tower? Maybe set the scene, introduce you and the team for those who may not be aware of Call Tower.
Sure. Well, a little bit about myself. It's William Rubio. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer. I've been at Call Tower almost going on about 11 years right now. We've obviously evolved as an organization over the past 11 plus years. We're really one of the top UCaaS and CCaaS providers on a global level. What we try to do is really take complex platforms such as Microsoft Teams, Cisco WebEx, Zoom Phone, integrate that with our CCaaS solutions with Five9, with our own Call Tower contact center solution, as well as a Cisco WebEx contact center, and really kind of try to drive that full end-to-end solution in roughly about 70 to 80 countries that we could provide that end-to-end turnkey to our customers. So it's been a real interesting ride from where we started to where we're at right now. But I think our partners and our customers we're like working with somebody who is a proven organization that really take on the challenges that their organizations have and really try to take that heavy lifting and be that dependent provider that they're looking for that could provide a stable solution and really take out the complexity of some of these core UCaaS platforms, which we all know are great, but at the same time, you have to work with a trusted, experienced provider that could actually implement it correctly and then make sure that there's user adoption for your employees. So it's been very exciting times. We all know that it's changed, especially with the pandemic that hit now going pretty much almost on over 3 years, right? Since it's kind of hit ground zero. So the world's really changed over the last 3 to 4 years.
The world has changed, and the UCaaS landscape has changed. You have everyone in this space, from mom and pop shops to big telecom, and in between. But you have a really unique and differentiated position. How would you describe the landscape and where you fit in this new paradigm, this new world?
Yeah, I think when you look at Call Tower, the first and foremost is we were the first to really integrate a lot of the top cloud-based solutions that are currently out there, right? We were the leader with Microsoft Teams, even going back to the days of Microsoft Link and Microsoft Skype for Business, and
Wow,
really adding
flashback
that
to
that,
old
that
days.
is
Yeah.
fact. Yeah, and really adding that voice component now within Teams and being one of the leaders going back to 2018, which might sound like it was yesterday, but it was 5 years ago. Then really taking the bull by the horns, I guess, and no other better way to say it, with Cisco WebEx calling. We have that pretty much across the globe. And then just recently, a few months ago, we announced that we partnered with Zoom Phone. So when you really look at Call Tower, you look at the three leaders in UCaaS overall. I mean, Teams with 15 million users, Cisco WebEx calling with about 11 million users, Zoom Phone with a little bit over 5 million users. And Call Tower is really able to go ahead and bring those three solutions to our customers. But it's not just about bringing that solution. It's about actually providing a migration path for our customers that want to integrate or want to go into those different solutions that are either coming off another cloud solution or coming off a premise-based solution. And we're able to go ahead and provide that migration path to them. It's that flexibility that we're able to give them that transition to really transition at their own pace without having to just do a rip and replace, right? So if you're coming off an Avaya or a Mitel or even a Cisco prem-based solution, you're saying, hey, I want to go to the cloud, but I don't want to do a rip and replace. I want to take 3 months or 6 months to do it, and how could I do it and living in a hybrid stage with some of my employees living in that prem-based solution and then moving over, let's say, to a Microsoft Teams. We could provide that solution to a customer without ever going to the PSTN. Every call, from whether that premise-based solution end user or that cloud end user, is connecting in the CallTower network and staying on the CallTower network. And I think when you take that and then you add it to the CCaaS options that we have with our partnership with Five9, with our CallTower contact center solution, something else that I'm going to talk about here in a little bit as well that I think will be pretty excited, and adding those analog devices and all those different type of applications, whether it be CRM integration, whether it be the analog devices with overhead paging and door buzzers, whether it be compliance call recording. We take those things and just add them all in together. And I think when you start to add those different things, even something as basic as emergency notifications, which might not seem important but are very critical to a lot of organizations, we deliver all those products and really tie them in to provide that full turnkey solution to our customers.
Amazing. Well, that's quite a mission. And did you say 70 countries? I mean, that's pretty extraordinary. Tell us about the challenges of rolling out data centers and service and support in 70 countries. Every country has its own unique regulations and requirements and PSTN issues. I can't even imagine the blood, sweat, and tears that went into that.
Well, blood, sweat, and tears that went into it and that continue to go onto it on a daily basis, right? So we have our 12 data centers that are global right now, over in obviously in North America and over in EMEA and over in Asia Pac, and some partnerships that we have over in LATAM. And the biggest thing with our customers is they want to make sure that we continue to provide that high quality voice solution, right? I mean, that connection overall. So whether it's within region or within country, that we're able to keep what we call that local voice or that local media, it really does help solve a lot of issues for our customers. So we don't want a call to be coming across what we say across the pond and so forth, back and forth. So we are constantly going out there making sure that we're working with the right partners globally to go ahead and help us deliver that solution to our customers. It's a challenge, but it's something that we do work on a monthly basis. We continue to change out routes in a lot of cases, or look at opening up other data centers depending on the concentrations of our customers overall. And we're happy to say that I think we say we're in 70. We're probably in about 78 countries right now. So that list
okay.
Keeps
I didn't know there were
growing.
78 countries, to be honest.
Yeah, there's about 195 according to the UN, but some of them.
What are you waiting for? Come on, let's go. Conquer the world.
Well, regulatory.
But Bill, how do you deal with things like GDPR? And I mean, the regulations around the world have got to just drive you nuts.
Oh, it's nuts. I mean, when you talk about in the U.S. alone, and you first talk about CMMC, or what used to be known as NITS 180 and so forth, and then doing with GDPR over in the European Union, it's a challenge, right? And it's really about making sure that data is kept within the customer's infrastructure, whether it be in Azure or if they happen to have it over in AWS and so forth, making sure that data sovereignty is there, making sure that they know that we're that voice provider, right? So it makes it a little bit different as far as storing data. So it's a challenge. And you've all known that since the pandemic, I think every country has realized that they want to kind of keep a little bit more control of their telephone numbers, right? I mean, there's been a lot of people that say, well, I need 20 numbers in France, but they don't really have even a presence in France, but they want it, as an example. So those requirements have really changed, especially after the pandemic, because a lot of countries are really trying to control the regulatory environment and really just help their local carriers, making sure that they could control those telephone numbers. So it's been a challenge, but we're up for the task on it. We keep up with the regulatory demands, which do change monthly. In some cases, people are saying, I need a business certificate. I need a passport of a local employee within the country to make sure that you're working with a citizen that's in the country. So they change, but we're ahead of the game. We always make sure that we let our customers know exactly what those requirements are. And a lot of our customers, when they're international, and since we do span those 78 or so countries, they know that those demands are changing rapidly in those countries. And they're very patient, and they understand that we're just trying to get them from point A to point Z. So it's really turns out to be a good relationship. Our project managers overall really know how to work with our customers to make sure that there is no hiccups in it when you're porting numbers, which is kind of an ugly part of the business, right? We do need that all the time and making sure that we're doing that and just really being patient with the losing carrier and moving them over to CallTower. But at the end of the day, we're here to service our customers and to make sure that we can work with them and deliver the service that they expect from CallTower.
Amazing.
We find out, Evan, cloud communication lines, we have members all around the world, and we hear like issues. It varies regarding porting of numbers. Countries like the Netherlands, they port almost in real time. And then you have countries like the UK that it just takes forever to get a number ported. And then we have the US that's somewhere in between. So I imagine the challenges around the world just vary from day to day and country to country.
Yeah, no, I can imagine it's pretty ugly behind the scenes in communications and technology, to say the least. One of the things to address that, CallTower, you guys have built your own user sort of friendly portal Connect for to kind of provide an enhanced customer or user experience. Tell us about that, because that's unusual in our space. It's usually maybe online billing is kind of what you get as an enterprise, but you're looking to do more.
We are, and we're kind of coining the phrase right now that we call it the last port that you'll ever have to do, right? And that's a pretty big comment to really tell our customers. But what we're able to do with CallTower Connect, which we launched back in July of 2013, so it's a battle-tested platform that really integrates with those core UCaaS and CCaaS solutions that I have mentioned earlier. The great thing about CallTower Connect that it actually does is that it makes sure that you could reroute the IDs at any given point in time, right? So kind of going back to that hybrid solution that I mentioned earlier, if all of a sudden you're migrating from a premise-based solution into, let's say, Cisco WebEx, and then all of a sudden you need a user or a couple of users or a department to redirect their DIDs over to Zoom Phone or over to Microsoft, we're able to go ahead and do that with just redirecting within CallTower Connect that customers or that end user's DID. So there's no reporting that has to take place. Once we port over to CallTower one time, that's going to be the last port that you have to do, whether you're looking at Microsoft Teams, Cisco WebEx, or Zoom Phone, or even staying in that premise-based solution. We're able to deliver that. And then the great thing is that in that hybrid stage, if you have user A that's on-prem base and user B that's on cloud, or vice versa, and they need to communicate, they are never going to the PSTN. It all stays within the proprietary CallTower network, and there's no extra usage charge on that. And I think that that's a really good service delivery that we're able to provide to our customers and really leverage what CallTower Connect is really to do. The other part of it is it works as your DID inventory management, right? And the nice thing about that is that if you happen to have those analog devices that I mentioned earlier, that all lives within CallTower Connect. So it kind of gives you that inventory management for your DIDs, whether they're on one platform, an analog device, or another platform, or the combination. It's just kind of that one-stop shop for you.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. You're also pretty proud of your support, which again has been an issue in our industry. Real 24/7, 365 support is not the norm. So how do you manage that across those 75 countries?
So we do happen to have employees in a couple of different countries that could support our customers and really kind of follow the sun. But I think that the key to that is not just that there are employees, so we do not outsource that. So there are employees, but I think the real key to that overall is that these folks or these technicians that are a tier one really kind of act more like a tier two and a tier three. They know the products. We go ahead and we really train them. We give them the certifications that they need to really help resolve the customer's issues or requests on that call. So about 85%, I'm very happy about this stat, about 85% or so of the customers that call in, we get a one call resolution overall. Wow. Very few actually go to a tier two or a tier three. So it really just talks about the I guess just the work behind the team that our training department does, that our engineering department does, to work with our support team to make sure that they can resolve those issues. So it is always a challenge because we have customers in Asia Pac. We have customers obviously down under over in Australia, obviously in EMEA and up in the Nordic countries as well. So we want to make sure that we're able to give them that same support regardless of where they're calling from or regardless of what time they're calling in.
Fantastic. No small feat these days. So in addition to UCAS, you've entered the CX world, contact center world, with a partnership of Five9. Why extend into that space? It's very crowded, very challenging environment. What was the driver behind that? And how's it going?
It's been going great. We've been doing our CX really going back for about 10 years overall, because it was a demand really from our customers that we saw that they wanted the combination of both UCAS and CCAS together. We partnered with Five9 going back now, I think, till 2017. So it's been about 6 years. We're one of their top partners globally because we are integrated with them, not just in North America, but also in EMEA and also in Asia Pac as well. So it's just really been a great partnership with them, and they've really grown as well. Obviously, they're one of the leaders in the Gartner Magic Quadrant overall. We do have our own proprietary contact center solution that we do use, which again, it's a very stable solution. Maybe doesn't have all the bells and whistles that a Five9 has. So we understand that there's different strokes for different folks overall. So we like to provide too. And just recently, we extended with our partnership with Cisco. We launched our Cisco WebEx contact center solution for our customers that not just for Cisco WebEx, but now that it's integrated and certified to work within Microsoft Teams, we have some customers that are saying, hey, I love the Cisco contact center solution. I want to integrate it with Microsoft Teams. Can you drive that solution? And we're one of the few that could actually do that. So CCAS is a big part of our DNA, and it continues to grow.
That's fantastic.
Hey, Bill, what size customer do you typically go after? What's your sweet spot?
We have a big spectrum. Well, that's a big spectrum overall, but I would say our sweet spot is probably anywhere from about 250 customer or end users to probably about 10,000. I mean, which again, that's a pretty broad spectrum overall. We have customers with 50,000 users, and we have customers with 50 users, right? And everything in between. But I would say really that 250 to 10,000 is really our sweet spot overall, which is a big spectrum, but it really just goes to the flexibility of the solution. And from a vertical standpoint, we're in pretty much every vertical. It just really depends on the demand of the customer that they need that we work with. But overall, it's just really been a good, successful journey here the last 11 years.
That's fantastic. So congratulations on being recognized in the Frost Radar North American UCAS market analysis this past year. That must have been quite an event internally, after all that hard work over a decade. What does that mean for the company? I guess what's next? How do you see yourself evolving over time?
It's been great. This is the second year in a row. So we're pretty excited about that we've been recognized. And from year one to year two, we've actually moved to the top right-hand side of the quadrant, which is exactly
where you want to be.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we're in that leader and that leader quadrant. And I think when you look at that, the one thing that the Frost Radar does bring to the table is that they really do look under the hood. They're really doing an extensive search on your solution, what you're bringing to the table to customers, what you're bringing to the table for your partners overall. So we love the fact that they actually do get under the hood and really do a good comprehensive investment or interview, I guess, with CallTower overall and with our competitors to really see where we provide those differentiators overall. So we're excited to be there again for the second year in a row. We're hoping we're going to be there in the third year overall. So innovation is really big and key into that analysis that they do overall, and we're going to continue to do it. So it's great to see Frost and Sullivan, recognize CallTower as one of the leaders. So we're excited about it, and can't wait to see the next report that's going to come out here in roughly probably about 5 or 6 months. I can't believe it's almost the end, or we're halfway through 2023 already. It's crazy.
No, it's shocking. Time is just speeding by. And you're a member of the Cloud Communications Alliance, William, as is Five9, but one of your partners. So, Joe, tell us, how many members are in the CCA, and
sure,
for the viewers who may not be aware, describe the mission.
I'm sorry. We have about 150 member companies around the world, and growing. Every day, somebody else in the UCAS, CCAS, CPaaS space is applying for membership. It's a member-driven organization, so companies need to apply. The members get to vote on whether a company should be admitted. So that way we make sure we have the ethical companies, the companies that can perform and do what they say they can do.
And in addition to great events and series like this and advocacy for the industry, what else is involved? I've been impressed with all the networking and the inter partner collaboration that happens. It's a really interesting group.
Yeah, well, the network is important. You know, that lets members of the industry kind of get to know and share. So sharing is a word we use over and over again at Cloud Communications Alliance. We like to share information with each other. But there's also some forward-looking stuff. We spend a lot of time, money, and effort on regulatory at the FCC and in the EU. And then, you know, as I said before, we look forward. Our meeting we have in Copenhagen September 6th. We're going to focus on AI. We're going to focus on sustainability, and sustainability is an issue you don't hear much yet in our industry, but it's coming up real fast. Bill talked about rip and replace. Well, when you're ripping and replacing, what are you doing with that stuff? And those are the kind of things that CCA we try to look ahead a little bit to kind of forewarn the industry and our members as to what's coming down the pike.
Yeah, it's a great community. We're going to have many members here on this channel and this show. Well, we're getting to the bottom of the hour here, guys, but what are you looking forward to over the next few weeks, couple months? William, any time off? I know you're a workaholic like myself. What are you up to?
We do have some time off coming up here. We're making a big push and expansion into EMEA and into Asia Pac as well. So a lot of traveling international, and we're actually excited with our partnership with CCA with Joe and his team. They're really providing some good guidance as we continue to expand aggressively into those areas. One thing that I do want to mention, kind of going a little bit back, Evan, into CCAS, and hopefully I won't take too much time here, is we're about to announce a strategic partnership with an organization called Sogari out of Ireland, which is actually the first CCAS solution that resides within the Microsoft Teams application or window. So when you're looking at CCAS overall, it's very important to stay innovative and stay ahead of the game with AI and different things like that. But we all know that agents in a contact center, it's frustrating, right? They have the one UCAS application, they have the CCAS, they have two
silos, open, right? Traditional silos.
Yeah, monitors, and they integrate in some cases, but it is a little bit of a challenge. But we're getting ready to make that announcement here in a couple of days. So I thought it was great to bring it up to the team. But again, just really staying ahead of the curve and being innovative to really listen to our customers and really drive the requirements that they need in their day-to-day business.
Wow, that's interesting. CCAS in Teams. That's a new one for me. So we'll look forward to that announcement. What about you, Joe? Every day is Margaritaville down in Florida.
Oh yeah. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Matter of fact, it's almost 5 o'clock here. Well, not yet, but we work through the summer. We're working pretty hard because we have the 2 cloud meetings coming up in September. One in New York, and then one, as I mentioned before, in Copenhagen. We want to make those premier events, so we're going to work through the summer just to make sure that you guys have a really good fall. So we're not going anywhere.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Joe. Thanks, William. Great to catch up. We're not face to face. I feel like we're face to face. I feel like we're in person here, so it's fantastic. And thanks for the viewers. Thanks for watching. Check out CallTower as always, and check out the Cloud Communications Alliance, probably the best organization you may not have heard of. All right.